Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. So thank you my members Silami, Astropub, Patrick, Lafush and Vivi, helps a lot. Make sure to subscribe if you want to help the channel. And let's get into it. Join our Discord as well, link is in the description. So yeah, obviously in this week we had the new tilting radar stuff added. You know, I did a video on that yesterday, and continuing that video I'm going to make a video on the MLD right now, and soon after this the F14 as well, so make sure to subscribe to see all of that. And yeah, so it is an addition, a very welcomed one, and it is just very effective. It makes the missiles way better than it was, just because you know it's a little bit easier to actually find targets. So it makes it so that you actually have a lot more situational awareness. So yeah, see here we are using obviously the MLD, as I said, with the R24Rs. We are not using DT variants, obviously, because I want to show the missiles. And as you saw, I turned the missile to the right there. It locked on the chaff, but ended up, because the target was ahead of the chaff, the lock maintained itself, and the target was hit, an F4 down. And I went cold because of the amount of missiles coming to my direction. Obviously a lot of F-14s as well, a very dangerous aircraft. And together with the side aspect of things, as you're going to see when I turn around, I'm going to use the vertical type of things as well, because sometimes the radar just tends to go a little bit upwards, you know. And here we've needed a direct 12 o'clock lock. As you see, the radar was tilted a little bit upwards, and I tilted to the middle, got a lock again, 11 kilometers, missile is shot, crank to the right, defensive position, a notch downwards to the left, evade the aim 7, and yeah, good kill. Went cold again because another missile is coming. So this is basically the textbook kind of idea of a good interception, you know. I think there are more I mean, not that there are more effective ways to do this, but this is one of the best, you know. Just try to go hot, looking to a side, you know, try to get a lock, and then you go cold when the missile hits, and you do that again and again and again when they are coming, and you will get a lot of kills. This can be used in F4s, F14s, anything like that. And yeah, and obviously because we don't have any R24s again, we pull the F14 to a dogfight here. And yeah, this is just a normal thing. Obviously the IRST and R60s are the same, and what I meant with the effectiveness of the radar is the missiles are not the missiles itself, they are the same obviously, but it is just the way that the situational awareness that you have on the battle is way better because of the tiltiness of the radar. So you can actually have more quickly where the targets are, where exactly they are, if they're on the left side, on the right side, and it just makes it so that it's way easier for more modern aircraft to actually know where the targets are, you know. Especially on the vertical side of things, looking up and down the radar, it helps a lot. You can use it to do some sneak attacks, you know, try to fly low looking up with the radar, and you will get a lot of kills as well with that, maybe with the R24Ts, you know. Talking about that, obviously I'm using the R24Rs. You know, if you follow me for a bit, you know that my MLD only uses the R24R normally, because I always think that they are more effective and easier to get a hit. As you see here, I'm losing a lot of R60s, and I'm kind of doing a mistake here anyway, but I'm losing a lot of R60s because of the flares. But as you know, the R24T as well loses a lot for the flares as well, and the R24R is just a matter of the target being hot. If it's hot to you, you will get the kill probably, you know. It's just a matter of maneuverability then and energy, but anyway, yeah. And here we have another option, another showcase of the tactics that I'm using. As you see, the radar is tilted to the right there, and I'm messing around a little bit on the vertical scan of things to actually get locks. There are some bugs, to be honest, getting hard locks sometimes when the target is too with azimuth to the side, you know, too close to the limit. But yeah, it is a very interesting thing, and it is just very effective. As you see, I got a lock from the left to the right side there. I would lose a lot more time if I had to actually point the nose to the aircraft and then get a lock and then launch a missile, and then I notch obviously, and the missile gets the target. So it is just a matter of being more awareness, having more awareness on what you are doing, and just being more quickly to actually fire the missiles and stuff like that. So here we have a kind of a bad situation here. I'm going to lock a target, as you see right there, and then I launch a missile because I thought he was hot. He launched a couple of phoenixes, I think, and then he went cold. As you see, he's turning away from me, and that's just a missed missile, you know. So if you learn how to use the missiles properly, you will know that you have to think about targets that are doing this. This is the easier way to actually evade missiles, so he's flying correctly, that F-14, and I just did a mistake of firing the missile before, you know. And yeah, it's one of the things that you have to learn. You know, it's I actually had a conversation yesterday about this with a subscriber on the Discord that he was telling that he thinks that the BVR is boring and stuff like that, and I think it's just a complementary thing on the combat. You know, the more modern stuff that we get, the more BVR stuff that we're going to get, obviously. And with that, I think it's just another thing that you have to learn. Uh, why top tier is more difficult? Because it has more things to learn, you know. You have a prop in tier 2, you don't need to control that much of a speed, you don't need to control that much of a turn because you can turn well and do a lot of things, you know. Early jet, for example, you had some more stuff that you have to worry about, like speed, ripping speed and stuff like that. Obviously you will have to know about these in props, but it's just a less complicated thing sometimes because jets can be very fast very quickly. And then you have the another thing and another thing and another thing that you have to learn, and the BVR is just another thing, you know. And not only about the launching missiles of aspect of things, you know, the actual aspect of trying to deal with all these things like evading missiles and IRSTs and flares HF and all these things. It just makes it so that it's obviously harder, and it makes it so that it's obviously a lot more that you have to think and a lot more that you have to actually learn. And that can be very challenging and very fun, and I think most players like this. It's just a matter of course, we have BR compression and stuff like that. And for an outside aspect of view, you know, you can think that this is easy. It's just to lock a missile and fire. But it is not, because if you know, if you fly top tier, you will know that obviously if you just fire the missiles like this, you will miss a lot of missiles. You will end up getting shot down a lot of times, and to be effective you need to consider all the things. For example, here this guy got killed with a missile despite flying flares, firing flares. Why is that? Because he didn't try to lower the power enough so that he could do that well, you know. So it's just all these little things that you have to learn and always think about that makes a ton of difference, just a ton of difference. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of learning more stuff, and it's always fun to learn more stuff. The dogfight capabilities obviously are very important still, and I think are even more important in the BVR right now, just because these missiles are not bulletproof, you know, they can turn to miss and stuff like that. But it's just a matter of making it so that they are the most effective as possible. And talking about the actual subject of the video, which is the radar tiltness and tiltiness, I think it's a word, right? And stuff like that. It is just a matter of being more effective. You have more situational awareness of the targets. You have everything like that, which makes it so that you have the perfect shot more easily. You know, and having the perfect shot more easily makes it so that you are more capable and you kill more people, and then you ended up winning more matches, which is always the objective, right? And have fun, obviously, with doing that. And it is just a matter. It changed completely the game for the MLD, to be honest, because uh, a little bit on the history of the MLD, to be honest. I mean, before the F-14, it was a very, very easy aircraft to fly, as everybody knows, you know. But especially in BVR, not a lot of people used to actually think about doing BVR, especially before the F4J actually came into the game in the M7F and stuff like that. A lot of people were just using the sky flashes and at 5 kilometers and stuff like that. So if you had a missile like the R-24, which is way better than a sky flash, especially in longer ranges, it's just a king, you know. And the radar, even though it was not the greatest radar ever, it was still lacking in the range and stuff like that. It was very, very capable for the time. And to be honest, I think I had like 80% of hit rates back in the day before the F-14. It was just way easier to get kills with the BVR. I talked about this in another video, if you remember, but it's just that after the F-14, everything completely changed. Everything was more BVR-ish, so everybody was actually trying to be good at BVR, so they were firing at the right positions, and they were trying to get cold sometimes, and yeah, everything just completely went to a difficult position in the R-24, to be honest. A lot of people actually started to use more the R-24 T than the R, more than before, just because of that. It was way too hard to actually get kills and stuff like that in the R. And yeah, this completely changed that. I think we are at that again. I think we had a position before the F-14 of basically 70 to 80% of hit rates in my part with the R-24R. And now I think I had, before this patch, this little tilted radar patch, I had like 30 to 20%. And now we are back in the business. I think at least 60, 70 maybe. Uh, it is just way more effective now. And the missile is the same. It's just that it is way easier to get a lock, and it is way easier to find where the targets are, you know. The obviously the radar scans are very small, so they tend to do the cycle of looking for the target very quickly, and if you can put it directly where you want it, this quick scan of the area there that you really want to, becomes a lot more effective, you know, a lot more effective. So yeah, it's just a matter of that, you know. I'm saying a lot that, but still. And I think the MiG-23 just became, I mean, as any aircraft actually, if you know the SAS, for example, becomes a little bit more effective. The J8, a lot of these aircrafts, even though they have worse radars, the worse the radar is, the better it affected, you know, because an F-14, for example, it was already very good at doing this. So now it is even better, but it was already great, you know. But a radar like the SAS radar or the J8 radar, which are very bad radars, to be honest, compared to these ones, it just completely changes the game, you know. It becomes way more effective, and you have a lot of options to actually choose what target you want to fire and stuff like that. So together with the target hue and together with the radar stabilization on the horizon there, as you see, it is way more effective. And after all, after you learn how to evade all these missiles, you still go to a dogfight and you still have to think about that. But if you are effective with your radar and your missiles, you can kill more people more quickly, and then it is just way easier for your teammates to win. So you actually become a lot more effective, you know. It's a thing that obviously I don't think everybody will know and learn how to use it. That's why, not that I do, but I'm obviously trying to get even better. The more better that I am, I think it's the better, you know, for me. So I'm always trying to improve, and I think most people like this idea as well, and that's why I do this video. So yeah, it's one way to actually, you know, learn how to evade all these missiles. You still have to think about that. But if you are effective with your radar and your missiles, you can kill more people more quickly, and then it is just way easier for your teammates to win. So you actually become a lot more effective, you know. It's a thing that obviously I don't think everybody will know and everybody will learn how to use it. That's why, not that I do, but I'm obviously trying to get even better. The more better that I am, I think it's the better, you know, for me. So yeah, it's one way to actually learn from each other and stuff like that. And we talk a lot on the Discord about this and stuff that you can do and stuff like that. And yeah, got killed there, but yeah, very good thing, very good addition together with the queue, as you saw from the, it was like a month ago that they did this, or no, even more I think, that they put it, the thing on choosing what target you want and stuff like that, the curator thing. Together with this, it just makes it so that it's way more effective. And a little bit on the tactics that I'm using here. Obviously, I'm turning to the left with the aircraft, and then using the radar to look onto the right. Here we can see that it's there is some bugs. It's not perfect yet. It's really hard to get locks when the azimuth is really far from the 12 o'clock position, or leveled at least with the aircraft. So as you see, it's kind of problematic sometimes, especially downwards, and especially in this aircraft. There are some aircraft that are a little bit better and a little bit easier, but yeah, as you see, 17-kilometer shot and notched because a lot of missiles were coming to me. As you see, evaded that missile there by a very close margin, and just continue to illuminate the target with the radar until we get a hit, and prepared the missile there, but it was an F5. So yeah, very effective to find targets, very effective to get kills, and you still have the normal acquire modes, you still have all the good things. It just makes it so that in the actual BVR it's a lot better, you know. And as you see, I'm fixing the vertical scan, looking for a target in the vertical scan. You know, I found it on the vertical scan. I would never see this target flying there if I didn't have that. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's way better. I'm being locked by the front here. There were a couple of aircraft flying low. As you see, they are firing missiles down there. But I was just maintaining the target until the missile hit it, and then I go code to actually evade the missiles. Chef, and yeah. So yeah, this is the idea, man. Get kills from far away as soon as possible, and then you are helping your team. You know, the more amount of kills that you get at the early stages of the match, the better it is for your team. Especially aircraft like F-14s and F-4s that have a lot of missiles, and they can do a ton of damage in the BVR. And sorry about that guy, because you saw that I shot it on the F5, but as you know, the F5 don't produce a lot of heat, and the J8 was flying right behind it. So yeah, it was a mistake by my part. Yeah, go code again. As you see, if you see a radar missile, just go code, fire some chaff, and it's fine, and you're good to go. Again, I don't know if it's a radar missile, but still, obviously a very good idea to use both. And this is the last dogfight of the video. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this feature, if you know how to use it. If you don't know, take a look on the video that I did yesterday. I hope it was informative. You know, it is a thing that you have to learn a little bit more, but it is just more effective. The more, that's the thing, all these features are rewarding people that actually learn how to use them, you know, because if you don't learn how to use the kill system together with these, you will still get kills, but you will be less effective, you know. So if you learn to use it, you will be more effective, and so on and so on. And that's everything in this game, you know. The more you learn how to use stuff, the less actual skill you need to actually kill people, you know. The more you learn how to use a missile, a cannon, the normal parts of the game, you know, the better you are at the game, and it's easier just to get a lot of kills. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to post a video on the F-14 soon, and I hope you enjoyed. So I see you guys on the next one, and bye guys, see ya.